I'll be there.
Testing. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. And I'm Captain Foley from the web series Trekyards, and I am here to introduce to you the ever awesome Denise Crosby, who played Tasha Yar on TNG.
Thank you. That wasn't so hard now, was it?
We're not finished yet.
Oh, there's low. Hoo-hoo. Hello. We have to have, yeah, maybe.
That's better.
There we go. How's everyone? Now, how'd you guys get the name London?
We stole it like all other city names around.
Right. And how come your streets are named like the same streets in Toronto? It's like really confusing. I don't know if I went, there was Dundas and, Queen Street, and can't you guys get more original names?
No.
Okay.
We even have a Thames River, just like London in England.
You have a Thames?
Yes.
Really?
So is this your first time to London then?
This London? Yes, it is.
And are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, well, this building has been amazing. No, I did wander out a little bit last night. Yeah, it was great. I just got in. I drove from Detroit yesterday. That was like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. But made it. The customs border agent was a Trekkie. So he liked to sort of, be all tough and hard on me and shut the window and took my passport, and then he came back and went, "Oh, I'm a Trekkie." I said, "Well, dude, what was all that about? I thought he was, gonna strip search me there." Probably would have liked that, I don't know, right?
So, everybody here knows you, of course, from Star Trek and a few other things, probably. Tell us about your latest, what you've been doing lately.
Oh, well, the reason I know Toronto's street names is because I've been in Toronto for the last 4.5 months, shooting the final season of Suits. So that I don't know if that's aired here yet.
It is, yeah.
It is currently on the air? Yeah, it is, right? That's right. So then you guys know, right? Because you've all been watching and studying. Memorizing it. It was such a great, fun experience. What a lovely, lovely, lovely group.
Daleks.
What's that?
It's a Dalek from Doctor Who.
Oh, okay, God. Wait a minute, wrong show. I didn't do that show, okay.
No.
Yet. There's still time.
Well, they're also filming Discovery in Toronto. Is there something?
I went to visit Discovery.
Did you?
I went to visit the set. Yeah. Oh my God! You should have. That was like I had to be cleared by the CIA to go. I went, guys. I actually did this TV show a long time ago. Okay, I'm not gonna steal your secrets, but I had to sign non-disclosures. I had to get permission. They had to vet me, and the producer from Suits. Is the one who initiated it because he knew the producer on, Toronto's such a small film community, they all know each other. And so the producer of Discovery knew the producer of Suits, so he made a call, and he wasn't allowed to come and visit the set. The producer of Suits was banned. Like as if, right? You're gonna see a Klingon on Suits. It was so bizarre. But anyway, my buddy Jonathan Frakes was directing, so I thought it'd be fun to go visit him on the set while he was working, and it was really actually pretty cool. I had the night before I had dinner with Michelle Yeoh. And she is absolutely one of the most gracious, lovely ladies I've met. So generous and kind. We had a great dinner with a couple of people from, not actors, but writers and stuff from Discovery, Frakes and I. And then Sonequa was really great to see. She gave me a really, so Sonequa and I first met on the set of Walking Dead. So then she got on to Discovery, and then we reunited. And she said something to me this time visiting her in Toronto that was so lovely. She said that watching the character of Tasha Yar gave her so much to work with. Like, she modeled her depiction of her character on a lot of what Tasha Yar, it's like it gave her a map, a blueprint into the role.
Now, when you were on this, did you get on the Discovery sets at all?
I did get on I had a whole tour guide come and show me all the, my God, you could have fit our entire set of the Next Gen into like a corner
Into their bridge
of the
set.
Discovery set. It's insane. I mean, Frakes and I were like, wow, okay, well, we didn't have this. It's humongous.
Did you get a chance to sit in the captain's chair?
Oh yeah, of course, yes, absolutely. Oh, of course I did, yeah. I did that. I walked around in their quarters. The kitchen, the dining thing, the whole 9 yards.
Well, the reason I asked about the captain's chair is, shameless plug, Trekyards has a TOS captain's chair just in the hallway next door here. So are you going to come have a seat?
I sit
think
in
you should.
all the captain's chairs. Where there's a captain's chair, I will be there.
Well, you're invited to come over anytime and have a seat. So.
Okay.
But speaking of sets, I mean, obviously you spent a lot of time on the TNG season 1 sets. When you got onto those sets, did it actually feel futuristic to you, or did it just feel like a television set?
Oh no, I thought it's funny because it very much was, a futuristic, especially the bridge. I mean, when we would go to like an away planet, that was always on a separate soundstage. So the bridge was always remaining. That was a built set that never changed. And then there were some other corridors and the captain's room and stuff that were a set. But then we'd go to another soundstage for the away planet, and that was hokey. That was always a bit hokey. They were like paper mache rocks and sand, a lot of sand. And by the way, there's a lot of stray cats on the lot of Paramount. So I always felt like I was working in a litter box.
Oh.
It was kind of a litter box with fake rocks. And I remember the first time Armin Shimmerman was a guest on The Next Generation, and he played we saw the Ferengi for the first time. And the Ferengi were supposed to be our enemies. And out comes this little like butt head with sharp, spiky teeth, and I just started laughing so hard. I thought, no, this cannot be my scariest enemy. He's adorable. I just wanted to like rub his little butt head.
Well, they were supposed to be the big baddies for TNG, and it kind of changed quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the sets, I know Jonathan Frakes has damaged some of the sets by accident.
Jumping over the chairs and stuff,
or just the Riker maneuver. Ricky sits in a chair.
Oh, I know.
But did anything like that ever happen to you with the sets? Did you break anything or cause any damage?
I walked into the transporter doors a lot. They didn't open all the way, or they shut in my face, or the timing of that wasn't always. Some guy was behind the set rigging that open. So we'd be acting, and we just automatically assumed they'd open, and we just walked right into it. But no, that was pretty much my claim to fame.
Okay. Well, on Trekyards, the web series I have, we actually just finished reviewing all season 1 episodes, and we made a point of how little your character was used and how she could have been used better.
Hello?
I just want to get your take on that while you were there and in it. Like, what was going on? Like, because I know Worf kind of took your position right afterwards, and season 2 got a lot of great content. So.
Well, that first year was a mess. I mean, they needed to figure out their voice. The writers were being churned. There were so many episodes that I was just basically standing on the bridge going, aye, aye, Captain. That was the extent of which led me to leave at the end of the first season. That is why I left. I was very fearful that this was going to be the way it was going to be for the next 6 years, and I would just, wither and die.
Well, I actually heard a quote probably 2 or 3 months ago that you had said at one point, "Can I just make a cast of my legs to have here behind the captain?"
Yes.
Is that true? Okay.
There were, the hours were so long, and I had absolutely no dialogue, and all I did was have to be in that position above, Picard and on that horseshoe. And I said, look, I don't have anything to say, just do a mock-up of my legs and just stick them there. It'll look like I'm there.
Yeah.
And they were going, oh, Denise, don't be silly. I said, no, I'm really serious. You could do that.
Yeah.
And but they didn't take me up on it.
Well,
I didn't even have a chair to sit in. I was dying.
I know. That's one of the bad things with tactical.
Yeah, right?
So what was it like to be called back to reprise your role in yesterday's Enterprise? Was that out of the blue, or was that something that was kind of talked about prior?
No, that was a complete surprise, out of the blue. I never planned or thought that I would ever have a way back into Star Trek until the producer, Rick Berman, called me at home and said, there's an episode that is really, really good, and it brings Tasha Yar back. And I thought, what? How? And he said, well, let me give it to you to read, and we'd love you to come back and do it. So I read the episode, and it was incredible. And I said, great, let's do it. And so that was really a wonderful surprise, because it wrapped up, so much of what that character. It was such a letdown for the fans, that she just randomly gets killed like that without any fight.
And how did it feel to be back on the sets with all your old friends? Although the sets look different.
Yeah, well, the uniforms had changed a little bit, and the tone of everything had changed. People obviously were more settled and comfortable in their skin. Whoopi, of course, was new, and I hadn't worked with her, although I had met her before, but not worked with her. And really, the link for my character was really working with Christopher McDonald as Lieutenant Castillo. He was just a great partner to work with, and we had so much fun and chemistry.
Yeah, I enjoy watching him in that. He usually plays such a bad guy.
Yeah.
Generally.
Well, he can, but he was just quite the handsome leading man.
Yeah.
Really good.
Now, during the filming of that episode, was anything mentioned about Sela, or that possibility that could be a thing, or was that much later as well?
Well, that was my idea that came out of yesterday's Enterprise.
Oh, wow.
I thought that my idea was originally that Tasha Yar was pregnant with Castillo's child when they went back on the ship on the Enterprise C to fight, and the Romulans in that battle, they kept Tasha alive because they knew she was pregnant, and they wanted to raise her baby as a Romulan, completely as a Romulan, to use as a sort of a tool for to a bargaining chip for the Federation. So that was the idea I pitched, and to Rick Berman, the producer, and they kind of he sort of said, let me think about it, I don't know, maybe, and a couple months went by, and he called me up again and said, "This is what we like your idea. We're kind of going with that, but it's a little bit different. Instead of Castillo, it's with a Romulan general that Tasha is taken, as captive with, and so they raised Sela as half. She'll be half Romulan." I said, "Oh God, do I have to wear ears?"
Yeah.
No, she'll be a blonde Romulan. So that was cool. I said, "Okay, I'm in."
A blondulum? Blondulin?
Oh no. Oh no, a blondulan.
How was the makeup process for the Romulans?
That was easy, because I just had the tiny little shape. I thought I was going to be able to skirt any prosthetics throughout my entire Star Trek life, but Michael Westmore, the genius, tricked me out with a couple little points there, just subtle. I remember one funny story about playing Sela during that time. I think it was the first episode where you just kind of see her in the shadows. And my husband came to visit me on the lot at Paramount because he is very good friends with the actor Al Pacino. And Al Pacino was on the Paramount lot at the same time filming Frankie and Johnny in the Clair de Lune with Michelle Pfeiffer, film he did. So I'm filming, and my husband Ken said, "I'm going to go say hi to Al," and I said, "Okay, great. I'll see you in a little bit." And I decided to walk over dressed like Sela to the set of Frankie and Johnny in the Clair de Lune, and I knocked on Al Pacino's trailer, and Al opened the door and went, "Oh! What is it? What are you?" And I said, "I'm a Romulan." And it was hysterical. So I sat and had lunch with Al in his trailer as Sela.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, in the filming of Unification, I take it you got to meet Leonard Nimoy. Mm-hmm. How was that experience? Like, were you a fan of Star Trek before you got into Star Trek?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I had seen all of the original, not when it first came on in the 60s, but when it first went into syndication.
Yeah.
I think I was, 18, and it was playing every night at 5 on the local station. So that was my little ritual. I watched with my neighbor, who was 85, an Italian immigrant, Chico. He and I would watch Star Trek every night together. And I always, years later, when it dawns on me, that I'm going to be in the next Star Trek, I kept thinking of Chico, how he would have, it delighted him, to have been able to live to see that. But anyway, so yeah, I was a fan, of Star Trek, for sure.
So
Still am.
meeting Leonard Nimoy was like the high point in your career?
It certainly was pretty cool. I mean, I remember Brent Spiner saying to me, "How cool is it that we're working with Spock?"
Yeah.
And such an iconic, person and role. So that was just a wonderful, circular completion.
Yeah. So even though you got killed off early, not a lot of other Star Trek actors got a chance to work with Leonard Nimoy. So you should consider yourself lucky.
That's the weird thing. It's like I died, but it's like I almost had to die to get the great episodes.
Yeah. Now, did you playing Sela was of course different than Tasha Yar, kind of evil, maniacal. Is that something that you really relished? I know a lot of actors enjoy the evil aspects when they can do that.
Oh, playing bad guys are always, really
More fun.
because you don't get to do that in real life. We're always, and rightfully so, trying to do the right thing. But this gives you full license to just, be everything you wish you could say,
Yeah. Well, going back to the sets for a minute, what was your favorite room or part of the set that you can recall?
My favorite room.
We're Trekyards. We focus on the ships and tech. That's
I
the question
know.
I need to ask.
Well, I mean, the bridge is where we lived, so I mean, I used to get, all the little panels on the equipment, on the, the command posts and the screens. They're little squares that Michael Okuda secretly hid our names and initials on.
Yeah.
So we would always be, it'd look like I was actually doing something, and I'd be looking for my name or my initials, on the thing. So it was always fun.
That's cool. Now, when you got the original idea for your character, when they first approached you about it, did they have the whole character arc and backstory for Tasha Yar's set up? Or is that something that kind of developed as the season went on?
They had a lot of Tasha, her background story. Obviously had Gene Roddenberry had a pretty strong, what's called a Bible, that really constructs the character. But, he really gave us free rein to try and create this kind of role.
Okay.
This is all going to be about Star Trek, right?
No.
I'm just getting the sense, right?
It's what I know best.
I know,
If there's something else you'd like to talk about.
I would like to open it up to questions.
Well, okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, actually. But before we do that, Trekyards and Start.ca, who's responsible for the convention here, did a contest.
Oh.
And the winner won a Trekyards Start bundle. But they also won the opportunity to ask the first audience question from you.
Oh, cool.
And the winner was Robin, which is just over there, front row.
Okay, good.
And her friend Sean is actually going to be asking the first question for you. So.
And where's their mic?
It's coming.
Oh, okay. Cool. Does this one?
Do you want me to take that one?
Oh, is it working? Yeah, good.
Hi, first thanks, welcome to London.
Thank you.
Are we going to be seeing Sela anytime in maybe Star Trek Picard?
That would be fun, wouldn't it? There's some discussion about it, and I hope they invite me. I think it'd be really an opportunity that I would love to do it. So hopefully they'll ask, and I'll be there.
That's awesome. We look forward to it.
Oh, sweetheart, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Hi.
Sorry, vertically challenged. I wanted to ask about Pet Sematary, actually.
Yay!
Switch over a little bit.
Wow. A whole other career I've had. Who knew?
I saw that movie when I was far too young to have seen that movie.
Uh-oh.
My parents-
I am not paying your shrink bills, okay?
Well, actually, I loved it at the time I saw it, and then as I saw it as an adult after I had my daughter, and I loved it even more, but I found it very difficult to watch. And I find that for me, when I saw the remake, I didn't like it as much because I don't feel that they understood that the horror in the film is not about, the scariness or the evil. It's about grief and about the levels that will drive us as human beings. And I just wanted to know, as the person who was in that film, did you feel that the director sort of kind of understood that parental love, that sort of love that you have for your child is really sort of the true kind of heart of the horror? Or
I think Mary Lambert, who directed Pet Sematary, absolutely understood that's the soul of that film. It's not, who jumps out at, around a dark corner, or, zombie-like people coming back from the dead. It's really about not being able to let go, and not being able to accept accept death and the toll that it takes, and the grief in this family. Absolutely, that's what it's about. And Stephen King understood that really, really well. And in the preparation of that film, that was the talk. That was what we were we were after, and the scariness, will come out of the doing of it. But yeah, that's what's so. I mean, that scene. I still think about that scene that we shot of my son's funeral. How disturbing that scene is. That not only am I burying my child, but my father is blaming my husband for all that's gone wrong, and they fight and tip the coffin. I mean, it's like you can't believe that Stephen King went there, And it was a very, very hard scene. By far, maybe the hardest scene I've ever filmed.
Do you feel having a female director kind of brought some of that out a little bit more?
Absolutely, I do. Mary, again, it's funny because Mary and I both hadn't had children yet when we filmed that. And we both now are mothers of sons. It's interesting. And people have asked me, how do you think, I'm almost glad I hadn't become a mother yet, even though I played it with conviction and imagination. It's like you don't have to kill a person in real life to play a murderer, You don't have to be a mother in real life to play a mother, okay? But God, it is so horrendous to imagine, something like that happening, that maybe it was a protection on our parts in some way,
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey. Oh, good, yeah.
Hey, Stuart.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Denise.
Hi.
I
Nice
noticed,
outfit.
Thank you very much. I was late to the party getting changed into it, so I might have missed a few questions, and this might have been asked, but I wanted to ask you if it was coincidence or are you related to Bing Crosby?
Oh, a coincidence. It's a coincidence. I am related to Bing Crosby.
Really? Okay, I had no idea.
By no work of my own. Unfortunately, my mother's not here to discuss that, but
I was just wondering if it's similar name or not.
He is my grandfather on my father's side, hence the name. Cool. Yeah, it's one of those weird little, footnotes.
Oh, okay, I'm probably last to know that. Everybody's going to tell me, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
later,
please.
I knew that already.
You could have asked if I was related to Norm Crosby or David Crosby, right? There's a few of us around. Or Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby.
Oh, I have a funny story, okay? Okay. Let me digress. So my cousin, Chip, who is also Chip Crosby, okay, we're all Crosbys, he has a son, and he was in a sports shop, one of those collectible, sports trading cards or little, action figures, but all sports related. And he wanted to buy his son a card, either a baseball card or hockey card, I couldn't remember. Anyway, so he pulls out his credit card to pay, and the guy, he's like a young sports guy behind the counter, looks at his last name and goes, are you related? And my cousin, now we've spent our entire life hearing that question, so our automatic response usually is we kind of go, depends, we don't want to make, I am related. So my cousin takes that action and says, I'm related. And the guy working in the shop goes, Joe, come out here, man. It's Sidney Crosby's relative. And my cousin goes, no, wrong Crosby. It was hysterical. It just, if you were in my skin, you would know how bizarre that and funny that is.
You could have played that up and got
Yes.
3 Tim Hortons for life.
Right? my son, when he was little, used to play ice hockey on a travel team. And so he would make stories up all the time. He would say, oh yeah, my mom's Sidney Crosby's cousin.
That's awesome.
It's like, why are you saying that? You know, it gives me better ice time.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Anyone else?
Oh, good. Hey, great outfit.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. You're great. Seeing you in person. I love you so much.
Thank you.
Denise, you're an amazing actress and so cool. Part of the reason I just started this season on Discovery in season 3.
Oh.
So my question is, did they, when you started, so I'm Starfleet.
Wait a minute, you just started as an actor on the show?
Yeah.
Dude, can I get your autograph?
Oh, that would be so weird. No, it should be the other way around.
No?
But did they also make you wear Spanx?
Oh.
We have to wear Spanx underneath the uniforms, and they just bring...
Oh, honey, I just spent a year on Suits.
Yeah,
You don't tell me about Spanx. I was spanked up to my, Gucci bougie. Oh boy, am I dating myself? They didn't have Spanx when we did The Next Generation.
But the uniforms, they were so tight.
The uniforms were Spanx.
Oh. Okay.
They were like walking, talking, breathing Spanx. So that was the first year. I got nothing under there, baby. Nothing. Now, I think some of the men started to get a little, yeah.
Too much time at the craft table.
A little girdle action was going on in there. Yeah. But no, what you see is what you get with me, honey. So you're spanked up, huh?
Yeah, we're underneath all the Discovery stuff. It's all...
Yeah, it's pretty, but you know what? I've come to love my Spanx.
Yeah, they're great. They really just bring everything
They
in.
just tie it all together. It's as if I never ate a single thing in my life wearing those things.
Have all the Oreos you want. And
That's right, just spanks them up, baby.
Thank you so much.
God, that's so
thank
great.
you.
Well, congrats.
It's like a literal dream come true. And also, I watch from Star Trek Next Gen, and I'm just
Oh my God,
so-
that's fabulous.
And Sonequa is lovely. She's very nice.
So lovely. All of those guys, Have you worked with Michelle?
No, she hasn't been on set when I've been there.
Okay. And what about Doug?
He's amazing. He's so sweet.
You give him my love. You give them my love. Did you work with Frakes? Yeah.
No, I wish. Yeah,
Well, he directs a lot.
Yeah, and he hasn't been when I've been on there.
Okay.
I just started, so.
Oh my God. Well, give them all my love.
I will.
Okay, cool. Wow. Right?
Any
Who
other
knew?
questions?
This is awesome. Come on down. Join the party.
Oh, you're such a versatile actor. Everything you're in, you're very convincing.
Thank you.
I love Ray Donovan and the Suits. And is there one particular series that you really enjoyed, and one particular person that you enjoyed working with?
Wow. God, Suits is so fresh. I must say I really, really loved. It's one of the only times I can ever remember coming back to LA and saying to my husband, "There's not one single moment that was a negative. I have not one single negative thing. The food was good, the clothes were good, the people were nice, the lines were good. Toronto is great. The hotel was fabulous. My driver was great. There's nothing to disparage about my experience and my time there. Ray Donovan was a fabulous, great show to work on, I must say. That was just killer acting, killer writing. My good friend Ann Bitterman created the show. That was the second time I got to work on one of her shows. She created the show Southland. I don't know if you ever saw Southland, which was another great TV show. So that was just a joy to be working at that level as well. So boy, I've just have been really blessed, really lucky. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, we got another.
Oh, yeah. This room's not talking much, this side.
Thank you. To go back to the relation of you to Mr. Bing Crosby, I was wondering if, you know, your relationship to Bing Crosby has ever helped or hurt you in acting roles.
Ah, that's a good question. So Bing passed away when I was still in high school. So there was no of any crossover or any sort of doors opening. I think it's more of a curiosity, you know, that people have in general, a kind of sort of love for past Hollywood and a legacy kind of thing that's interesting. You can't go far with that, though, in and of itself. I mean, it's a curiosity for maybe a moment, and then it's like you either got the chops or you don't on your own. You know, nobody's going to, you know, people like, you know, Jeff Bridges or Beau Bridges. They're not who they are because their dad was Lloyd Bridges. You know, they are there because those guys can act, and that's just what it is. You know. So, but there's so many generations of actors now in film and television. So it's becoming a little more commonplace when you see people like, well, I just met, what's his name? Dennis Quaid's son, Jack Quaid. He's doing The Boys. Yeah, I just met him at Fan Expo in Toronto a couple months ago. And, you know, so there's like a lot of people, you know, young people who are coming into their parents' profession, more and more. I hope my son continues to play baseball, though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any questions? Oh, there's a few here.
Hang on.
Wow, look at that outfit. Nice job.
Thanks. Anyways, so I'm a huge fan of Sue's, and when I heard that you were coming, is the reason why I'm sitting here today.
That's great.
So I know Patrick, Gabriel, and Sarah love to have fun on set and like pull pranks. Is there anything behind the scenes that you have partaken in or has happened to you that you're willing to share with us?
You know, what was so much fun with them is the lightheartedness, you know, they bring to it, and you're just cramming these crazy ass lines and dialogue, and then they'll mess up all the time, and they'll just go into some goofy, ridiculous voice. I mean, Sarah does this whole like street rap, you know, stuff like, I just want to say that I can't do you no good, boy. You know, I mean, I can't even do it. It's so good. And, you know, it's just silly stuff. They're a very, very tight family. And I didn't see, I'm trying to think if there were like, you know, we would just hand someone like a stupid prop or something out of the blue, or break into a song all of a sudden, and you know, just to make it goofy and light.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Awesome.
I'm sure. I know they have blooper reels.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They got. Speaking of that little Mike Ross, Patrick, he is the biggest Trekkie I have met. How about that crossover? I go, you know, it's no spoilers anymore because the show's been on, but it was very secret that he was coming back to the final season. And so when he did come back for episode 6 or something, he's sitting by his trailer, and he goes, he jumps up and he goes, oh my God, I'm so excited you're here. I am such a huge Trekkie. He went to to see the final episode of Next Gen, All Good Things, on a giant screen at like Toronto's Superdome. Like they screened it on, and he said I was there. And do you know, I would play how to, you know, like I would try to get him on trivia. So I'm in the makeup trailer one day, and I said to Patrick, I said, okay, let's see if you get this one. What is the name of Tasha Yar's home planet? He went, Turkana 4? Drop the mic. It's like, no way. I've never met anyone that, did you know that?
I didn't. I hang my head.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That, you got it? Well, you guys don't count, okay? Of course you're gonna know it. But he knew it, and then I ripped him the entire rest of it. I said, he's a nerd. He's a total nerd. Where was Tasha Yar born? Turkana 4. Gabriel, like, just ate it up.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you for coming.
One more?
John.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
So, going back to Pet Sematary, how was it on set to work with Fred Gwynn?
Wow. Fred was just a delight. He was so generous and charming, soft-spoken. You know, he illustrates and wrote children's books as well. And, you know, just the great storyteller, you know, of Hollywood, and a real survivor, you know, really had gone through quite a bit, up and down. And, you know, was not embarrassed to share any of that with us. And just really a kind, loving man, and so good in the role. Oh my God. He like set the bar for us. Once he got in those, you know, overalls and started to speak with that Maine accent and became Judd Crandall, man, we like said, okay, we gotta get, you know, we gotta get it together here. He was just a loved him.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're actually at the end here.
Oh, we could keep going. Who wants to sign autographs? Oh, we have one more. We got to.
Another question.
We can sit here till cocktail hour.
The bar's right over there.
Oh,
so.
well. Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, the first Pet Sematary and the second one kind of left you hanging at the end. Was there an alternate ending that got cut or anything?
Of the first Pet Sematary?
Yeah, just wondering, because like she comes back, she kills him, and I was just wondering.
Well, the first Pet Sematary ends exactly as the book does.
Well, there's an epilogue in the book.
There is?
I believe there was.
Who's got their Pet Sematary copy? I'm gonna read the epilogue out loud. No. Oh, you do! You do! That's right! Oh my God, let's check this out.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna settle this. Oh, Monique, you rock! Okay, where are my glasses?
I never knew you even wore glasses.
Oh, just to read, honey. I know I'm you know, I'm a little over 21 now. Not much. Let's see. The most frightening book Stephen King has ever written.
Even more than The Shining?
Wait a minute. Where's Linda? Does she have my glasses in my purse? Oh, I love it. Hang on, let me find this. It's good. Will take us right up to cocktail hour. I love you.
I never thought this question would be so loaded.
Isn't this cool?
I never thought.
Because you know what? How many years it's been since I've read the epilogue? Let's see.
If there was one.
Okay, wait a minute. That's that.
Tell us a story, Denise.
Come on, kids. I'm going to read aloud. There is an epilogue. Yeah. Okay, epilogue. The police came late that afternoon. They asked questions, but voiced no suspicions. The ashes were still hot. They had not yet been raked. Lewis answered their questions. They seemed satisfied. They spoke outside, and he wore a hat. That was good. If they had seen his gray hair, they might have asked more questions. That would have been bad. He wore his gardening gloves, and that was good too. His hands were bloody and ruined. This is how the movie wait a minute! Okay, here we go. He played solitaire that night until long after midnight. He was just dealing a fresh hand when he heard the back door open. What you buy is what you own, and sooner or later, what you own will come back to you. Lewis Creed thought. He did not turn around, but only looked at his cards as the slow, gritting footsteps approached. He saw the Queen of Spades. He put his hand on it. The steps ended directly behind him. Silence. A cold hand fell on Lewis's shoulder. Rachel's voice was grating, full of dirt. Darling, it said. End of book. End of movie. Oh, Monique, you rock. You rock, Monique.
That was an awesome way,
Well,
I think.
that's a way to end a conversation.
Absolutely. All right.
Drinks on me, Monique.
Well, I would like to thank you very much for coming to join us here in London. Really appreciate it. It was nice to meet you.
You did it?
I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
He was, let's give Stuart a hand. He was feeling nervous. I said, Dad, just talk to me. Linda said, just talk to me. And you guys were great. It has been a pleasure to meet and talk with you guys. I'm going to be signing some more, a little bit more, till my cocktail arrives. And I know you think I'm not an alcoholic, okay? I only play one on TV. Come stick around, have fun. I'm here tomorrow. So enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.